Hello, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I know that I am because I got to see the Super Mario Brothers movie and I actually had a lot of fun. Reviews seem to be pretty mixed, but I really think that the most important deciding factor of your enjoyment of the Super Mario movie is what your expectations are walking in. I've been looking forward to seeing this movie since it was announced, but I wouldn't say that I had the highest hopes. It's Illumination, and I didn't really know how they could translate a series that, out of all Nintendo's franchises, has the least emphasis on story and plot. But all the trailers were at least visually appealing, and each of the cast choices were spectacular for wildly differing reasons. I figured at worst it would be bad in a way that made it funny to laugh at, and Twitter could have a field day. I wasn't expecting a train wreck or anything, but all I really hoped for was a fun time, and I think that's largely what we got. The day before release, I saw the low critic score and it made me start to worry, even though these days it seems like film critics in general have been completely out of touch with what audiences are looking for. And with a 98% audience score, I felt a lot more optimistic, but I did keep my expectations in check. And I think that's what I would recommend to anyone interested in seeing the movie who hasn't already. Just keep your expectations in check and you will have a fun time. The plot isn't much deeper than that of Mario Odyssey, but there's enough there to move the story along and get the characters where they need to be. Most of the dialogue in the movie exists to set up a gag or reference or simply to progress the plot. I appreciate the movie's attempt to move things quickly, but the pacing throughout the whole movie is all over the place. A lot of the interactions between characters seem rushed and forced, especially when two characters meet for the first time. The dialogue can be pretty clunky and doesn't flow particularly well, but it's not something that ruins the experience for me because I just don't think that was the movie they wanted to make. There's some hand holding by the writers here and there, but I think they did a good job of translating the feeling of fun you get when playing Mario to the big screen. All of the main cast, I think, did a great job, and I'm glad to see so many people even coming around to Chris Pratt's Mario after hearing it for a whole movie. I think I was one of the few who was kind of glad Charles Martinet wasn't cast. He does make an appearance, and he has a couple roles, but I don't think I could have handled an entire movie of Charles Martinet's Mario. Highlights of the cast were obviously Jack Black as Bowser and Charlie Day as Luigi. Unfortunately, Luigi is MIA for most of the film, and I would have gladly taken more time with him. Bowser's characterization in particular is extremely good. You know how sometimes in the games Bowser is just kind of one-dimensional final boss villain, and then sometimes he's not the main villain at all and gets to have more of a comedic roles in like the RPGs. Movie Bowser was a good blend of all those characteristics. He was the big bad guy, but he still had depth and character. Chris Pratt was kind of all over the place. Sometimes it was just his normal speaking voice, or he was doing a Brooklyn accent, or he was doing some pseudo Italian accent, combination of the three. But his performance was largely inoffensive to me. And to be honest, I think a lot of the fears that people had about Chris Pratt's Mario being a little uninspired could largely be shifted to Anya Taylor-Joy's Peach. I think she did a good job, but it was mainly just her voice, and she was just doing an American accent, and it was fine, but there wasn't anything really special to it. I think Chris Pratt ended up actually giving more to Mario than anyone really expected. Being a fan of the source material already, it's hard for me to judge this movie on its own merit. It'd be hard to say if you had somehow never heard of Mario before that this movie would work for you. A lot of the enjoyment I had was recognizing the references and Easter eggs hidden in the background that anyone unfamiliar with the games wouldn't notice. It would just fly right over their heads. I mean, one of my favorite Easter eggs was when Mario and Luigi get lost in the underground sewer system at the beginning of the movie. They go down some stairs and there's a sign telling them they're on level 1, 2. I thought that was really cool. That kind of stuff is just all over the place. There's Punch Out Pizza, Mayor Pauline, and there's this Ludwig von Koopa piano. Those are just some of the ones that I remembered. I know a movie can't survive on its references alone, but these ones catered perfectly to me, so I thought they were great. Overall, the movie is a lot of fun. I understand the frustration some people have expressed about wanting a deeper plot. This is a movie after all. Movies and stories go hand in hand, obviously. But this is also Mario, and the story that is there fits into what we already know about the Mario canon. I think some people maybe expected, because this was a movie, that we would get a big shakeup in the story that would propel the series into a new territory, and that's just That's just not what we got. Instead, we got a movie that's as fun to watch as it is to play some of the games. It's the kind of movie where you can turn your brain off and just enjoy it. Kids are going to absolutely love this movie, no question. And I truly think that there is enough there for the older audience to grab onto. There were no like fart jokes or anything to immediately turn off an older audience, which was very much appreciated. But so yeah, overall, I think that if you're the kind of person who watches videos like mine and you love Nintendo, you're going to have a good time at the Mario movie as long as you keep those expectations in check. So now we wait for the extended Nintendo cinematic universe to unfold and give us that Luigi's Mansion movie. Yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you saw the Mario movie and you had anything else to say about it, feel free to leave a comment or let me know what your thoughts were. But yeah, look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.